In the year 2028, one Big Mac will equal $1 million. From the Gospel of John McAfee. Bro, just learn to code. The Project Freedom Podcast.
Hello, I am live, and I did not give any warning about it whatsoever. I never go live on Saturdays, but I wanted to go live today. And I really don't have anything to talk about in particular, guys, but except for this one small thing, and I literally just started the stream, so I know that there's not a single person in here. Oh, never mind. Ryan A., oh my God, a daytime stream. Yeah, I know, crazy, right? I really just wanted to, I'm looking for a video, guys. I'm looking for a video. Let's see. Hurricane Ida news. I don't know how to navigate this query. Hurricane Ida news FAKE. I'm looking for the video, guys. As if you guys don't know, I am a local New Orleanian native, and during the whole hurricane thing that just happened to go at this literally the exact same anniversary date as Katrina. Here it is. Yes. I happened to be seeing some things that I didn't really 100%, or at least I couldn't make 100% sense of at the time. And now that it's kind of all over, I'm just trying to look into some things now. Hashtag look into it. Here, I'll share this with you guys, because I thought this was funny. All right. I think this is the video, guys. But basically, this actually isn't the exact video. I think there's several videos of this. But basically, guys, what you're going to see, I believe, if this is the right video, is you're going to see these newscasters, and they're looking like they're holding back from the wind, like the wind is going to knock them over. And then these two dudes will walk by eating ice cream, looking at them like, what the hell are you doing? So let's see if this is it. Hold on. Yeah, there it is. This is actually different than the one that I saw originally. This is just a different one. They're laughing. Hold on. These two dudes in the back are laughing. Hold on. Go back. Look at these guys right here. Right here. Oh, boy. That's funny. That's funny. But another thing I wanted to share about that is, like, there's some other things that just, like, kind of just, I don't know, just didn't seem right. For example, and I think I talked about this on my stream last night, or I have before, but the electricity department, or the company, sorry, not the department, but it's essentially, like, it kind of feels like it's a governmental organization called Entergy Electric. And actually, guys, I should pull up the reviews online. Entergy Electric, Louisiana. Let's see. Entergy Electric, New Orleans. But basically, what they were saying was, prior to the storm, that this was going to be a life-changing storm. I wasn't laughing at the storm. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I'm laughing at the reviews. All right. Let's see. All right. So as you guys can see here on the screen, we have 1.6 star reviews on Google Reviews. So let's just. I'm pretty sure I left a disgruntled. Yep, this is me. 4 months ago. This was definitely not done 4 months ago. I swear to you guys that this review from me was done literally over 2 years ago. All right. Not 4 months ago. So I have no idea why this says 4 months ago. I promise you guys, I swear on my right and left testes, baby please, that I did not write this article 4 months ago because I was living in Miami. However, you're just going to have to take my word on it. We can read mine. We could read mine real quick, and then we can read the other ones. I don't remember what I said, but I said, let's look. Disgruntled, passive-aggressive. And guys, I never go out of my way to write a review on a place unless I'm seriously pissed off. I've done it twice in my whole life. Disgruntled, passive-aggressive employees who will try to argue with you for asking to repeat themselves because they talk so damn fast you can't understand them. Illogical, time wasters. If this business had competition, they would be bankrupt in 24 hours. Responsive owner Josh, thanks so much for reaching out and asking us feedback. Energy, we're consistently striving to provide safe, reliable services that is affordable for our customers. We understand the situations customers you lead. Okay, so basically that was the copy pasta. Let's see what this guy, Mason Franco, said. This company is absolutely insane. Came home from running an errand this morning to find my power shut off. I moved into a new apartment where my power has been working for months. I had thought my electric bill included in my rent. Without telling me there was a problem, my apartment complex took it off their name. Another guy who's angry. All right, Brian M. Connolly. Garbage systems. Energy stock posts record profits because they don't invest in maintenance or armoring their system. Yeah, I'd have to say that's true. Let's just see. Local guide, Destin Tate. Hold on. Whoever just called me. I am streaming. Please, sir, give me some time. But since we had the interruption, let me check in with the chat. Koila, what up? OG Nick, back to life. Dude, what is up? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Alex Contazos, hey, Josh, was on Rule Zero. Hello. Is Rule Zero going on right now? I have no idea. Plump Cats. Lies. Chris and I are here. Oh, yeah, to when I said no one was in here. Yeah, guys, I just literally popped open the stream. I don't even know. Didn't even know why I wanted to do it. Just wanted to do it. Ryan A. Porn? Maybe. Alex Contazos, spaceship emoji. Yaz. Yes, bruv. A stream, I can make it. Yes, dude. You know, Yaz was specifically thinking about you when I made this stream. Ryan A. says, LOL. Ha, 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 ha. What is going on? What the chat about today? We're going to talk about the Hurricane Ida and then kind of whatever else I really want to talk about. Soy boys versus real men? Yeah, we can definitely discuss soy boys. Christian Soto, 1, 2, 3 with the eyeball emojis. Nick Sledgen in the chat. What is up, Josh? Excuse me. Yes. All right. So back to this FECKERI. Let's see what this local tour guide said. I attempted to start a service with Energy, and I'm being forced to wait on some mysterious verification team to get my power turned on. I've called multiple times. Yada, yada, yada. More disgruntled people. I pay my bills every month, and in the month of July 2021, they charged me an amount of $504, and they never gave me a reason why. They're thieves. So this is a pretty common thing that I've heard from Energy. I've experienced it myself, too. I've just had, like, random several $100 charges to my account that made no sense. Like, one week I went to Destin, Florida to vacation last year when I was still living in New Orleans. And I came back home, and I think I probably just left my front porch light on. And I came back home, and my electricity bill was, like, through the roof. It went totally parabolic my electricity bill. And I was like, this doesn't make any sense. And I've talked to other people. They said similar things. But, dude, in all honesty, guys, like, so I told you guys, like myself, I've only left 2 Google reviews before in my life, and it was when I was extremely disgruntled. Normally, I would never even waste the time to write something clever enough to make someone angry. So you got to take that in consideration. Like, when these people are making reviews, they're probably disgruntled. But if you go in here, there's no one went out of their way to write a good review. And actually, now that I said about writing good reviews, I lied because I just bought something from somebody in Miami last week, and they asked me, would you please write a good review for us? And I did, because they deserved it. So that's 3 Google reviews I've written before. So you have to think, no one went out of the way to be like, wow, I'm really happy this company gave me good service. Let's see what Kelsey James says. Energy has got to be the worst New Orleans utility entity. Worse than the Sewage and Water Board. I don't know about that. They give you a time to be home and say a technician will be stopping by. Energy is the worst. All caps. No cap. But, so what I'm saying here, guys, is I'm going to bring this over to NOLA.com. and check out the news. Some of these things that happened didn't make sense because before the hurricane even hit, they were like, this is going to be a life-changing storm, which I'm sure there's some people's lives who were changed by the storm. But me personally, out of every single family member I know, every single friend I know, no one had any severe damage to their house. People mostly just had like tree damage and trees getting knocked over, which is, it's pretty common, especially in New Orleans. We have storms going on. And they were basically telling people like, hey, you guys aren't going to have power for potentially months and months and months. And I'm thinking like, so you're telling me we can go to Mars, apparently, right? We can put machines on Mars, but you guys can't fix down power lines before a several month time period, even though you guys can look on your control center, whatever they call it, the module, which they get all the data from the outages on the map and see where all these down lines are. It just seemed like, I don't know. If that is true, it's kind of pathetic, right? It's kind of like really pathetic because you'd think we'd have enough technology to at least get people to go down there faster. But anyway, let's check out the NOLA.com news and let's see what's going on here. So obviously your typical New Orleans news: deadly shooting at Metairie gas station leads to New Orleans man arrested for murder. JPSO. A 20-year-old man accused of fatally shooting another motorist while waiting to fill up the cars. Blah 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 blah. Okay, let's see. Here's one. Energy releases new timeline for power outages. Let's look at this. Let's look at this one because this is prevalent to what we were talking about. Let's see. Nick Sledgen says, so want to get solar house and get off the grid. Yeah, I want to. That Tesla solar kit looks pretty sweet, dude. Solar plus septic plus well water equals off grid. That would be pretty epic, man. And also, like, you can basically, like, there's other things you can do to curate water as well. I don't know if it's going to be, like, the best tasting water. But Christian Soda says, I got to go to bed. Have a good day. You too, dude. Good night or good morning. However it works for you. I'm not sure. Boom, baby, says Kyle. Aurelian says, questioning face emoji. If this page will ever load. I don't know, guys. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Let's see. There it is. Energy releases new timeline for power to return to Southeast Louisiana. See the list. All right, so here's the map. I mean, I'm not going to click the page, but basically, like, the entire metropolitan area was without power. Let's see. Here's their list. I don't know. Nothing on this page is loading. All right, so energy updates lists daily on this website. So September 29th, Lower Jefferson Parish. So this is like East Bank of Jefferson Parish. I know you guys don't know these areas, but like to see a date that says September 29th, so literally a whole month. And first of all, they were first saying it was going to take multiple months, which I knew was just like, I don't know why you would say that unless you just wanted people to panic. I don't know. Maybe they just want people to be upset. But to have an electricity company tell you that they can't, it's going to take 30 days plus to get your electricity back on, when we have the apparent technology to go to Mars, I don't know. That just seems kind of like unexcusable, if you ask me. Unexcusable at the least, if it's correct. Yaz says, they say we're going to have clean water shortage and power shortage in the next 10, 25, and they will want to electrify everything. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. There's some kind of like, I guess you could say, maybe agenda here. We saw the same thing happen to New York. They had like awful flooding in New York, which apparently never happens. Strange. Nick Sledging says 2021 almost over already. Yeah. Where has the year fucking gone? Blinking is done. Yep. It's crazy. It is indeed crazy that it has gone that fast. But also the older you get, things just seem to like fly by for whatever reason. So I don't know, guys. I was actually watching the live stream for a long time on and off during the whole attack of the storm. And two things happened that I wanted to point out, or that I noticed that just seemed kind of odd to me. First was that Orleans Parish. So you guys probably have counties, but in Louisiana they have parishes. It's essentially the same thing as a county. They basically said like, oh, hey, our emergency 911 system is offline because of whatever. And this happened before the storm even made landfall. And then also the sewage and water department said that their pumps broke before the storm even made landfall. There really wasn't a whole lot of wasn't a whole lot of rain. Like, we've literally had floods in New Orleans. Like last December, there was a flood in New Orleans. It was just like a normal rainfall, and there was no flooding in the city this time. Which one would think, like, if it's the worst storm if it's the worst storm that we've ever seen of our lives, like, you would at least expect some flooding. And so I'm just thinking, like, I don't know. I was watching the stream the whole time, and there was people like literally walking around on Bourbon Street in the middle of the storm. It really didn't rain that bad. Now the wind looked pretty bad. The wind looked and sounded like it was pretty like hellacious, but I don't know. I wasn't there. I was not there, lads. Control the food and water. Control the people. Yeah, that would make sense. Wow, I'm still in my prime. Yes, we had a shit ton of rain in NYC. I saw that, dude. I saw the flooding, and I'm assuming people in NYC don't have flood insurance. Like in Louisiana, you're basically, if you have a mortgage, you're basically required to have flood insurance. And I don't think people in New York have flood insurance because I'm sure they're not used to having like mass amounts of flooding coming to them. So I can only assume there was some substantial property damage that went down over there. I saw lots of videos, and I asked a friend of mine who was in New York, I was like, hey, is this actually going on? Like, is it that bad? And he's like, yeah, it is. Very rainy here out in AZ. I don't know if that's the rain from the storm, because I think the storm went northeast past New York, but it's possible that some remnants is from the storm. But anyway, guys, I guess this is all just part of the whole clownage that's going on. Like, we've been having all kinds of craziness going on with like the weather and stuff too throughout the world, right? All of a sudden, out of nowhere, out of the blue. Why do you guys think that's the case? Does anybody here have a reason for why they think that's the case? I really don't. Unless because of CLIMATE CHANGE, which, to be honest, guys, I don't know much about at all. I don't know much about it, literally at all. I'm open to discussing it with anybody or reading about it. I just really don't know anything about it. I believe that several years ago I had done some research on it, like very, very minuscule amount of research, and essentially like some of it didn't make sense to me, some of it did. But then again, that's the same thing with a lot of things in life. I also do know that people have been saying for, like, I think Al Gore, and I'm just using Al Gore as an example because he's kind of like the poster child for CLIMATE change. But he kept on saying, like, guys, we're like, the coastlines are going to zero in approximately 2 hours and 30 minutes. Meanwhile, we have very wealthy people buying like bayside houses. They must not be worried that their oceanside bayside houses are going to go to zero anytime soon. Either that or they just don't care. I don't know, guys. I don't have an explanation for it. But if I did, I would indeed share with you guys. But you know what we can do right now, guys? We can go and view my favorite website to view when I'm bored. Because I know you guys like this website too. And it's really fun to look at this website. Let's just go head over to good old CNN.com and let's see what's going on today. Let's see what the sentiment is in the air today. So what is this first thing right here? The browning? The browning of America? Browning. What is the browning of America will be whiter than we realize. Oh no, there is a Confederate CONFEDERATE flag right there. Oh, no. If the RACIL hierarchy that gives status and power to whatness endures, the U.S. will just have a newer version of what, SUPREMACY without a tan. What? What is that? Huh? What you talking about, fam? I don't know what this even. I don't even understand what that says. And hey, look, we got one about the hurricane. Hundreds of thousands in Louisiana face dangerous heat as they endure power outages. Yeah, and that's another thing too. Like, can you guys really not put power back on? Which, by the way, guys, people in my family have literally already had their power put back on in places in areas that they're claiming are not going to have power in over a month. I don't know. RDVACCINATED against crab 19. Experts say you're protected even without a BOOSTER. Pete Batugi. How do you pronounce this name? Pete Buttigieg and husband Chasten announced the birth of their adopted children. Wow, very nice. Wow. Opinion. The mistake Biden can't afford. One simple trick to be a better president. Senators hate him. Here, when Senator Ron Johnson told a liberal activist who recorded their conversation, the guys, like, this is like, these companies are pushing back against Texas. Oh, man. Like, I'm sorry. I really don't even care about any of this stuff at all. Okay, so let's do the same regression testing we do every time I come to this website. How do you guys feel after viewing this website? After viewing this page? Let me think about how I feel. Let me see if I can put those emotions into words. How do I feel after viewing this? I would say I don't think there's a word in the English language for it, but I feel like blah. Like blah. Why would anyone want to read that? It's definitely not a positive feeling, that's for sure. That's for damn sure. But anyway, if you guys want to go check out the Centralized News Network, feel free to go to centralizednewsnetwork.com. I'm sure you guys can find some goodies on there. Let me check with the chat. Alex says they need supercomputers to take all the possibilities of why the weather is so crazy. Okay, so one thing, now that I think about it too, Andrew K, Man, Bear, Pig. That was a great episode. One thing too, okay, so like, here's what I'm thinking. Here's one of the things I've always thought about, and it's just, and I know I don't have any scientific precedence for it. I don't have any reasoning behind it. And maybe there's something I'm missing out on this, but me as someone who is not an environmental scientist, which by the way, my mother is literally an environmental scientist, so I suppose I should know some things about this. Excuse me, she's an environmental engineer.
She's an environmental engineer.
So I'm sure I should know something more about this than what I actually know, but I really don't. So I'm just going to go from like straight logic here. So when we do things like put trash into trash piles and trash dumps, and we burn them, or what's another thing that we do? We burn some of these trash piles, right? And that releases like gas to the atmosphere. The carbon footprint per se, and then also like the cars. You burn gas and oil, and that gets released in the atmosphere as well. What I'm confused about is, okay, so if we have, so the reason, and again, guys, I don't know anything about this shit, so just bear with me. I'm just trying to think here. It's completely logical. If we're burning things and releasing them back into the earth, we're basically like just taking molecules of life, carbon-based molecules, and they're just being redistributed elsewhere. In the same way that like when a plant dies, and then its carbon-based remnants is released into the ground, and then another plant comes, or like a dog shits in the woods, when the Pope shits in the woods, and then the poop is absorbed into the earth, and that said nutrients from poop gets redistributed into a plant somewhere where it's eaten by a cow or whatever, and then a human eats it. What is going on there? We're basically like, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, are we basically just like recycling carbon? If so, is that a bad thing, or is it just a neutral thing? Like, are we just keeping the same carbon atoms and molecules in the same container? I would think that it would be worse to be adding extra things to this environment called the Earth, or to be taking things away. But if we drill oil out of the land and then it gets redistributed elsewhere in the atmosphere, does that carbon not does it not consolidate somewhere else? I'm legitimately asking because I don't know, guys. I'm legitimately asking because I don't know. But I would think if it did get redistributed elsewhere, wouldn't that inevitably, just like 100,000 years or whatever late, however long that carbon took to get there in the first place, wouldn't that inevitably just end up back in the same place? Because that would make sense to me, unless there's a huge piece that I'm missing, and I very well could be missing. Nick's Legend says, in 20 years, we will be worrying about global cooling and the energy transition. I thought it was global warming, not global cooling. I'm confused. Null says based. Thank you. Sam Perchinsky says boom. Null says but fake when Mexicans are considered quote unquote WHIT. Are they? I don't know. Andrew K says unclean. Yaz says they don't have technology, so they can't control or make rain. They don't have technology, so they can control or make rain in China. Ha ha. It's a good question. Has anyone ever heard of HARP? I don't know. I would think so, right? Like, so what is rain? What is rain? Rain is condensed pressure in air in the atmosphere, right? And how do you make a tornado? You make a tornado with like hot and cold air hitting each other. So I guess theoretically speaking, if we could just have technology that did either one of those things, then it wouldn't be too far-fetched to believe that that's the truth. But and I'm not using OBS, guys. Otherwise, I would play the well, I could play it on here, I guess. I don't know if it's going to work. Now I can't stop it, guys. It's going to go on forever. I would think that if we have this technology to go to Mars and the moon and back, that wouldn't be too far-fetched to think that would be a possibility. But I don't know. Do we? I don't know. I don't know. No says supercomputers are actually causing weather issues. Checkmate. Yes. Wade Emery says, hey, fellas. What is up, Wade? Andrew K says, you can't even trust the Weather Channel anymore. I've always said it, man. I don't trust any news organization because it's just like, what do they do? What are you going to do for me, Mr. News? How are you going to benefit me today? I don't think they have any reason to do anything for me or benefit me. So I'm just going to, it's like the same thing as if like a person came to you off the street and was like, look, I really need you to give me this $100 bill because my brother's cousin's sister is in a car over there and she's in labor and you need to give it to me and I'm going to give you $200 bills in return tomorrow. I'm just going to think, I don't see how that would benefit me. And for all I know, you're not telling the truth. So I'm probably just going to assume that the exact opposite is true and that I most likely shouldn't give you that $100 bill because I don't know you and you don't know me. And there's nothing that you have to benefit by going out of your way to return the favor to someone you don't know. Because quite frankly, guys, this is 2021 and everyone kind of has their own grift now, so to say. So it's just better to, I just don't trust people, period. So I'm especially not going to trust a corporation that gets their revenue out of people having to, watch their parentheses news. So what I've always said is it's better to just believe the exact opposite of what I'm not saying you guys should do this, but if the news is like this is going to happen, I'm literally like, for example, the news is like the sun is black. I'm just going to assume the sun is white, the exact opposite. It's probably more likely to be true. Because I'm assuming that someone had given revenue to said new NEWS organization in order for them to publish that story. Alex says it's also the jet stream shifting or wobbling and the underwater currents and spewing volcanic ash. So many factors. Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm sure, guys. And I really don't think anyone truly has like a full grasp on this. Like even like a scientist, maybe they don't know all of it, right? Null says grand solar minimum is interesting theory. Let me look that up. Null. Grand solar minimum. Let's see if we can find this, guys. Grand solar minimum. Grand solar minimum 2021. Gradual onset of... No, I do not want to accept your cookies. God bless it. I shouldn't even be using this browser. Hold on, guys. Let me use a browser that doesn't try to siphon all of my information. And then slow down my speed of bandwidth. All right, let's see. Oh, you want it too, I see. You want it too. Okay, whatever. Sure, just fine. Just take my cookies because I'm desperate. I'm desperate to know about this information. Let's see. Grand solar minimum. Grand solar minimum. Scientific reports. Gradual onset of Maunder minimum revealed by high precision carbon-14 analysis. Let's see. Abstract. So let's just read the abstracts. We don't take forever on this. I'll zoom in for you guys if you can't. If you're actually on the screen, you're on a phone. So let's see. Abstract. The sun exhibits sentinel scale activity variations and sometimes encourages grand solar minimum. Well, we still don't know what grand solar minimum is. What is the definition? When solar activity becomes extremely weak and sunspots disappear for several decades. I did not know that sunspots could disappear. Such an extreme weakening of solar activity could cause severe climate causing massive... I think the way that it was worded was next. Alex says, what browser is that? This is a Brave browser. Hold on. This sentence doesn't make sense. Such an extreme weakening of solar activity could cause severe climate. I think they meant climate change. Causing massive reductions in crop yield in some regions. During the past decade, the sun's activity has tended to decline, rising concerns that the sun might be heading for the next grand minimum. However... Okay, so is that the grand minimum is the definition of it? Is that sunspots disappear for times and then it could shift the ability to yield crops from area to area? However, we still have an underdeveloped understanding of solar dynamo mechanisms and hence precise prediction of the near future solar activity is not attained. Here we show the 11-year solar cycles were significantly lengthened before the onset of the Maunder minimum. 1645 to 1716 CE, based on unprecedentedly high precision data of carbon-14 contained in tree rings. So they're getting this data from chopping a tree down and looking at the carbon data in the rings. It implies that flow speed in the convection zone is an essential parameter to determine long-term solar activity variations. We find that a 16-year-long cycle has occurred 3 solar cycles before the onset of prolonged sunspot disappearance, suggesting a longer than expected preparatory period for the grand minimum, as the sun has shown a tendency of cycle lengthening since solar cycle 23. The behavior of solar cycle 25 can be critically important to later solar activity. Introduction. Let's look at some graphs here. Look at some graphs. Spoiler. Any other juicy nugs in here? Oh my God, no, I do not. Get away. I don't know, guys. Look, guys, it's all over. It's the end of the world. It's time to just pack up your bags, fellas, and go get your coffins ready. And you know what we should all do? We should just all go lay in our coffins and just wait. I think that would be a great idea. Cody Moose says, what is up, boys? What are you about? Cody Moose in the Who's. Good to see you, man. Caught me slipping for Saturday streams. LOL. This is my first Saturday stream, my dude. Antonio says, hello, friends. What is up, Antonio? Welcome to your favorite safe space here at Eat Lift Program. Melanated sun. So the sunspot's been removed from place to place. I don't know. Cody Moose in the Who's says, LOL, that's what I told a friend of mine the other day. Whatever's on the news, I do the opposite, and it's been great. Yeah, it's been working out fine for me. Basically, the Earth will cool / not warm. Andrew K says, too long, didn't read. The universe is trying to kill us. Oh no! Guys, the universe is going to fucking zero, and we all need to get out now before it's too late. I don't know, guys. I also don't know if anyone actually really understands this stuff. Like, I really don't. Right? Perfect example, our monetary system, not just in the country, in the United States of AMERICA, but literally in the entire planet, the entire world. Very few people actually understand this stuff, and the ones that do, it's entirely more nuanced and complex than it really is. And to me, that should be a warning sign right there. Like, if something's that new, the thing that controls basically everything in the world is that nuanced. Doesn't seem like a very fitting approach to handling something like that, right? Pablo Busco says, hello, Pablo. Good to see you, my friend, Mr. Busco. But, guys, with the whole hurricane thing, I mean, it appears people are getting power back. And I would just venture to say that maybe, just maybe there was a little bit too much fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the posting of, or the warning period of that storm. Pablo Busco says, let's hang. I don't know how we can hang when you just got on a plane to Jersey. Alas, I didn't read your text message. Hold on, I will read that, Pablo. Would you like me to read it live on air? My flight left me even though I came 29 minutes before, so I'm here for the day, going to leave tomorrow. Oh my God, that sucks. Yeah, sure, dude. Come on over. Come on over, buddy. I don't know if you guys, I can see if I can, let me see if I can adjust this camera. Hold on, guys. 1 second. Let me adjust the camera and see if you guys I can show you guys outside. Hold on. Let me play a nice little video for you guys before.
Pump it.
It's not going to work. Oh no. Guys, the stream's going to zero.
Pump it.
Oh, maybe.
Pump it again. And again.
What the bloody hell is going on? The shakeout wasn't finished yet. Why haven't we crashed it?
Keep up, Jacob. This is all within expected ranges.
No. Recommence the dumps. Continue the black swans. Accelerate it. Bounce the dead cat. Pull the rugs. Build back even better. Activate the cyber pandemic. I'm in charge here.
Actually, guys, there's way too much brightness coming out right now. But it looks super crazy cool over in the background over there because it's like very foggy and misty. It looks like there's a storm. There's a storm coming. A storm. Maybe I could do this. Let's see. Guys. Let's see. You guys see? No, it's way too fucking bright, isn't it? Way too bright. Way too bright. You guys cannot see that at all, can you? Wow. Wowzers. Yeah, dude, come on over, Pablo. Come on over. I was actually going to go walk around Brickell today. So, no, said, what did we just watch? That was a sort of a schizo content. That was your Lord and Savior, Jacob Rothschild, here to save you guys. He's a great guy. You should go Google him. We'll take your word for it. You know what else, guys, I should do? Let's not be biased here. Let's go to another news network. MSNBC. What are y'all's favorite news networks here? I just use CNN because they happen to be one of the most popular ones, right? But let's not be biased here. Let's not be biased. And let's look at MSNBC and see if we feel differently from watching it. Steve Bannon's plan to subvert our democracy is pretty terrifying. It's not loading. But I can tell you guys, let's see. Nobody's talking about defund the police, end quote, in 2021. New numbers show the shocking impact of RACISM on the American dream. QANON, shaman, quote, shaman. I can't even read that title because I'll probably get boofed into oblivion. Let's see, Judge. I mean, this is kind of like the same stuff, guys. Basically, so what my consensus of watching this one too? It appears that they want you to be concerned about RACE and climate, CHANGE, and I don't know, quite frankly, things that I don't really think about on a daily basis. Maybe I'm a bad person because I don't think about that kind of stuff. I don't know. We can day game. Are we gonna bring Light, the day gamer, bro? Light, come here. Yes, Pablo, we can do that. We can bring Light, the day gamer. Come here, Light. Light, come here. Come here, Light. Come here, Pooch. Come here. You guys want to see Light, the day gamer? Come here. Say hello to Light, the day gamer. Come to the camera. You guys like his orange collar? It's orange. My favorite color. Oh, orange dog. Let's see. Nelmo says, LOL, I knew who they were. I wanted to watch the whole thing. You want to watch it? Sure. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me put it on for you. I think it's about 90 seconds long. No, but here. We'll start from the beginning.
Pump it. Pump it again. And again.
What the bloody hell is going on? The shakeout wasn't finished yet. Why haven't we crashed it?
Keep up, Jacob. This is all within expected ranges.
No. Recommence the dumps. Continue the black swans. Accelerate it. Bounce the dead cat. Pull the rugs. Build back even better. Activate the cyber pandemic. I'm in charge here. But the shadows.
Hech. It is not yours to take, Bog. The truth will set us free. It must.
That's actually not the whole thing. There's more to it, but basically this ending. You know what? Null. If you want to watch the whole thing, go to maybe 6 or 7 Project Freedom podcast episodes prior to this stream, and then fast forward all the way to the end, and you'll be able to see it. But actually, that's something we could talk about too. Is anybody familiar with the YouTube channel Bizanachi? Great content. I find it funny. I can show you this to you guys. This is something I always want to talk about. I never talked about this on stream before, but my friends, you guys know. Let's look at Bizanachi. Bizanachi's channel. They kind of predicted, parentheses, they kind of predicted the whole PANDEMIC, quite like a little bit more than 2 years ago, and they called it Crab 17. But it's funny because if you go, let's just see, let me share my screen. If you go to the comments on their videos, so let's look at this one, Crab 17 Stage 2. Let's look at the comments. Can you guys read this? Lord Bognoff, COVID 19 was a stunning success. Since when were you under depression, COVID 19 was over. I'm not going to say this out loud. You guys can read that. He is leading in Wisconsin. Dump it. Truly a masterpiece. The pure intimidation and tone coming from the bog is amazing. This guy does really good editing, too. Since we're under the impression that parentheses was over. Interesting. I find it interesting how Biznacci has put Cabal members, including BILLGATS, into this meme and called the whole video Crab17, and then in parentheses you see, and now he's vanished. Because this guy hasn't posted anything in a long time. Shortly after, you can hear the elite laughing. Help us, meme in. This video aged like fine wine. Yeah, it did. Let's see. Musk 21. Yeah, and as you guys can see, this video was made June 13th, 2018. Kind of eerie, right? Kind of eerie how go ahead and watch the video if you want. Go ahead and watch the video of Lord Bogdanov. Sorry guys, I got distracted from the chat. Let me see. nationaljustice.com. Do I want to go to that website? Is that a trap? And poll, unironically. Cuban Libertarian in the house. What's up, dude? Leg pressing and listening. I hope many, many moons of gains upon you, my friend. Yeah, it says, what did I miss? Work duties dragged me away. Nothing important, my friend. Oh, just us babbling along about insert xfiles.mp3 song here. Sam Producer says, Light the Day Gamer is my favorite dating content. Should we make Light a YouTube channel? Light. Yes, guys, he's on the ground here right now, sleeping underneath my feet. Yeah, it says, shit, that question too technical for Saturday night. You're in the UK, aren't you? I know you're on a different time zone than us, because every time you come into our normal stream, it's like 4 a.m. your time. I only just Yahoo Finance, LOL. I check, I fancy myself a little bit of Yahoo Finance every now and then too. I jump back in. WTF was that? Plump Pcats says, I'm with Jeffrey right now. You guys need to take the Jeffrey pill if you haven't. Bill Gates was talking about the PMIC 4 years ago. There's a lot of questionable things about the PMIC. I don't know if this is true. And I don't know if I'll get in trouble for saying this. Shh, I'll try to whisper. But apparently, guys, I read an article the other day that said that there is a group of doctors around the world that are trying to sue the Rothschild family because they have had created a patent back in 2016 for the C space R space. The spaces are not intentional. Testing kit for Crab19. And I found that was strange that the patent was created a long time ago. Nonetheless, it's weird how Them Thumbs content section is one of the largest free speech zones on the normie internet. Cuban Libertarian says, touch on municipalities getting RAPED by ransomware attacks in these days, even if you will. Yeah, we can definitely talk about that for sure. We can talk about that in 1 second. Yes, bruv, UK, Greater Manchester, boo yakasha. You ever head to UK? I got you. Jared George in the house says, hey, what's up? Yeah, so about this, the municipalities getting raped by ransomware attacks these days, that seems like it's occurring very often, right? It all kind of started with the Colonial Pipeline hacking, right? And I know a few security specialists, including Mr. Cuban Libertarian in the chat right here, is a security specialist, so he might be able to fill in some gaps here, but I know personally, let's just say, how can I phrase this? All right, so my character in a video game, in an MMORPG, used to write software for several governmental agencies, and I know my character in the video game, in the MMORPG, knew and knows personally that their IT infrastructure is absolutely garbage, absolutely trash. And most of the things that they can do to fix it have not been done. and quite frankly would not be super expensive. Some, yes. But it's almost like people are begging to have their IT infrastructure breached. Like, I know it's not usually, the government doesn't usually hire the best employees, especially for tech, unless you're in one of the three-letter organizations, and that might be a little bit different. But one would just logically think, like, if you guys are familiar with Project Prism, like we have a lot of these offensive, softwares written by the owned by the three-letter agencies. If we have all this offensive Red Hat code and tech, you would think they would know, like, hey, we made this kind of stuff and we sell it to people, so this kind of stuff exists. So maybe we should kind of like soup up our defensive architecture. But no, right? And what happened before the whole Colonial Pipeline thing happened, we heard like, oh my God, guys, there's hackers. Russian hackers are coming. The Russian hackers are coming. And then what happened? We had a hack breach. We had a infrastructure breach, and they used Bitcoin to take money as a ransom, which also fucking terrible idea, bruv. Fucking terrible idea. And Cuban Libertarian, if you were listening right now, tell me if you agree or disagree on this, because I had Ryan from Elevate Cyber on my podcast before, and we talked about this. If I, in a video game, happen to have even mediocre hacking skills, I was trying to ransom money from somebody, the last vehicle that I would use as a mechanism to accept this ransom would be a cryptocurrency that is based off of a publicly available and immutable ledger that anyone and everyone could see when, where, and who it was sent to, or what address. And so a lot of these hackers are using Bitcoin apparently as their ransom mechanism. And that part doesn't make any sense to me. That would be the last. I would probably use, like, I don't know, Zcash or Monero or Pirate Token or whatever the fucking ARG, whatever the ticker $AARG. I think that's also a privacy coin. That just doesn't make sense to me. And we're also hearing a lot of like, and you know what I'll notice in the news. Cody said this earlier. So I said, like, basically anytime the news says something and it's like, this is going to happen, it's good to I just assume the opposite. I've noticed that what they'll do is they'll do this kind of thing where they kind of like prep people for things that are about to happen by saying, like, hey, this is about to happen. And we're seeing a lot of things saying, like, oh, we're going to have this hacked soon, or we got a scary hacker is afoot. The scary hackers are afoot. Kind of like they're prepping people to, like, prepare to just, like, hey, we got hacked. I'm not going to question it at all. So I would assume, guys, that we could potentially be seeing some hacking go down, and maybe, I don't know, electricity goes out. I don't know. Alex says, what if Gates ... isn't Gates? I don't know. What would he be? A pink, purple, polka dotted lizard person? Jiren says, did you hear about Twitter integrating ETH? I did. I didn't hear that. I'm a little skeptical on what they're doing over there with Twitter and the Lightning Network. I should talk about this on a different stream, but I'm pretty happy and stoked to see that Bitcoin has a layer 3 now being prepared that you can actually write dApps on, and I think that's pretty cool. But I am a little skeptical of Jack Dorsey's pause being in there, because I don't know, guys. Insert X-Files MP3 song here. Personally, after seeing things that Jack himself has done, I don't really think that he is in it for what a lot of, like, the maxis are for, like, you know, truly to benefit mankind, as they say, apparently. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. at Bitcoin Miami this year, when Jack Dorsey got on stage, a bunch of people booed him. They're like, you fucking censor people, blah. And he was like, hey, we can talk. They kicked one lady out because she like cited some things that Jack did. And he was like, hey, we can talk about it. But you could tell, first of all, they didn't talk about it. You could tell that he kind of didn't want to talk about it. But he basically said, like, without saying it, he said, like, low key, I don't want to be censoring people, but the Uncle Sam kind of is forcing me to. It's essentially what he said, guys. Not making that up. It's essentially what I don't want to put words in the man's mouth, but that's what I took away when I heard his response to that. Gates is a prick. Yeah, dude, that dude's kind of meh, I'm Bill Gates. Meh. Yeah, says that prick also owns 40% of farmland in the U.S. Yeah, he bought a boatload of farmland in Louisiana last year, which is like, what the fuck? They want to get rid of beer and our natural creatine. Oh no, beer and creatine. You okay, Light? I scared the dog by slamming my hand on the desk. Mickey D's Subway promoting this processed vegan junk. Blah. Yeah, I don't like a lot of the processed vegan junk. Random question: do you recommend password managers? I know people that use them. I would say that you're better off using a paper password manager. Literally, if you have like a notebook that you have, you're probably better off using a paper password manager. Because if let's just think of it like this: even if let's just say let's just say your password manager is even just as small, and I'm not talking about like Keylink or anything like those, Keychain or anything like that like Apple has. I've never heard of anybody having like a security issue because of that. But if you just think about it, like even having a text file on your computer with your passwords, like if someone gets in your system, let alone if those passwords are stored in a cloud somewhere, then it all depends on how much you trust said service provider, said cloud service provider. Because then at that point, like, what if the server farm gets breached? I don't know. At least if I have a password manager on paper in my house, at least I know if someone comes in my house, it's up to me to not let them have that information, right? Nonetheless, I work for a big cybersecurity company. You've probably heard of them. And we use password manager. Yeah, I mean, most people do. And again, I've never heard anything bad about it. But it's the same thing, guys, as like the whole keeping managing your private keys. Like, that's on you. And if you put it into custodial someone else, I mean, so let's talk about Celsius. I've never heard of anyone having, I never heard of Celsius having a breach before, but like it could definitely happen. And you put that onus on them, then you have to be able to be trustworthy of them enough to, as opposed to yourself, be able to, not be afraid about that. In the movies, subliminal messaging. Yeah, come on down. Indeed. Null says, anyone have a suggestion on some newer cryptos that should look into purchasing? Even ETH is almost 4K for a single ETH. Look into Kusama and Dot. Kusama and Dot, from my understanding. I don't know if you guys know Charlie from Cultivate Crypto, but I talked to him and I was like, what should I be buying nowadays? And he basically said ETH, Kusama, and Dot. And it makes sense for Kusama and Dot. And I guess ETH too. Like if you think, let's just say ETH at least does a 2x from $4,000. That's at least 2x. But he did say buy ETH under $3,000 or when it was at $3,000. Me buying ETH, even at $1,700, seems ridiculously expensive to me because when I first started purchasing ETH, it was a lot cheaper than that. And so I kind of have like a different opinion on that because like, I don't know, it'd be the equivalent of like if you bought Bitcoin under $3,000 and now people are still buying it. It all depends on your risk management, I guess. 4K for one ETH is just out of my budget. Polkadot, I mean, I would say Polkadot, it's like $33 right now. It hasn't even touched its all-time high yet when a lot of other things already have after the big dump. So I'm still buying DOT. Hashtag not financial advice. And I don't really, I'm not really the person to ask for that kind of stuff. But I would say just from a logical standpoint, that would make sense. Can you, nice one, you can recommend any? One login I heard is pretty good. But again, you never know, right? You never know, guys. You never fucking know. I personally feel Dorsey has good intentions, but the people around don't. Right. That's a good point, Jiren, because like you got to think about it too. I've also seen some kind of like some paperwork that seemed a little like, I don't know if it was real or not, but essentially that a lot of legacy tech and big tech isn't really run by legacy tech and big tech. There's an entity known as Uncle Sam that kind of has more reign over those things than what we think. Boy, I don't know. You never know. Yeah, says Luna, Polkadot, Kusama, Hex. Yes. Thanks. I'm going to look into buying some dot. Cheers. Cheers to you too, my friend. Cheers to you too. But yeah, guys, what do you guys think about all the weather stuff going on and just all the general just craziness, period? I don't know what to think of it anymore. Like Cody Moose in the Who said, I think from a logical standpoint, at this point, it would make more sense to just believe the opposite of what the news is saying than what they're actually saying, because I don't know any people, any at least big organizations that are delivering said news based off of just like genuinity and wanting to do it as opposed for making $1. But guys, if anyone's in here and you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. And if you have something you guys want me to talk about, put a comment in the video below. I say this all the time. I do read the comments, and I'm willing. I'm open to talk about literally anything as long as it's not absolutely retarded and asinine. So yes, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before one Big Mac is equal to $1 million US. So please, guys, if you haven't subscribed, please sub. And I think that I am going to go hang out with Pablo and Sam and Fido and Light the Day Gamer. So that's a wrap, guys. I'm out. Cheers.